What's up guys, Viper here, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today I'm going to be providing you with all of my game plans and my custom tactics moving into Tots for the next, 7 weeks or so. I think this is a really important video for you guys. A lot of people do ask for my custom tactics, obviously in my streams. I stream champs every weekend down on twitch.tv/Viperlization. If you want to go over there and watch me play, the opportunity is there. But so many people do ask me. Obviously I've covered some things in the past, on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of custom tactics there, but the game evolves, the game changes. I personally don't think the 5-3-2 is good anymore. I think it's just kind of like grown out, I just don't think it's very good anymore, genuinely. Some people might disagree with that. I think if you do use it, though, you have to use it in an attacking sense. I'm just not a fan personally. So we're going to start off with the defensive tactics. Now this is the 4-2-3-1. And this formation is for either holding a lead in a really tight game, or in a game where it's very, very, very even. So, if I was to match up against a pro, this is the formation I'll go into. Obviously, for you guys, it might be a bit different. It might be a bit harder to gauge if you're playing against somebody good or not. But if you feel like he's on your level or he's above your level, go into something like this, and I think it will help you kind of control the game a little bit more, and try and get a foothold essentially in the game. And what we've got here is we've got 5 width, 3 depth, very low depth, just to kind of soak up the pressure. In a 4-2-3-1, that's really what you're doing, is you're soaking up the pressure, and then when you do manage to get the chance to get the ball in transition, you're playing quite slowly. And that's also why you've got long ball on as well. Because if the opportunity for a long ball appears, a long through ball, you have that opportunity there as well. Obviously with the 4-2-3-1, as I've already said, it's a very slow burner. Takes a long time to build up in. And it's quite a safe formation, I'd say. These things down here don't really matter. You can put this up a little bit more if you want to get a bit wider passing options for your wide cams. You can push that up to like that. I just like to have it balanced. Players in the box very low as well. Reason for this is because we're in a formation where we're taking it slow and we're trying to walk the ball in, kind of, I suppose. Corners, free kicks, have it on whatever you want as long as it's not above 3. Once you get into 4, you get counter-attacked quite easily, and that's something obviously we want to avoid. If you've got like a big focal point as well, like a like a Van Dijk, a Ronaldo, a Cantona. It doesn't matter what you have this on. They're always going to be the one at the near post. And that's how you score all of your corners, mostly. With that being said, we're going to move into the instructions now. Obviously, you can see the way the team's set up there. The instructions are, we're going to use Cantona as the false 9. Drop him quite deep. Obviously, you've got to stay forward on him so he doesn't drop too deep. But the false 9s are going to allow him to drop in a little bit more. And the main thing you're trying to do in this formation is to get the ball wide and then back into the centre with a cutback, essentially. So that's why we have Cantona on that. For the cams, it's quite a ratty tactic, really. But all of them will come back. We want to have a lot of blocking opportunities. So that's why we've got them on comeback. For the CDMs, both of them will stay back, cover centre. Normal stuff. Most players use this. Very self-explanatory. I don't really have to go too in depth with that. Covering the centre means we fill up the middle, and we let the wide cams and the fullbacks deal with the wide areas. And they're on stay back as well. The fullbacks. But that's it for the 4-2-3-1. As I've said, it's a very, very defensive-minded formation. In a game where it's really tight, or you just feel like you can't get a foothold in the game, that will allow you to get a foothold in the game. Moving on to the main tactic that I use in a game where I'm dominating but I can't get the goal. I'll switch into this. Now this is the 4-4-2-2, the one with the 2 CDMs. This is extremely balanced. Okay, 5 depth, 5 width, balanced. There's not too much to talk about here. It's just about getting the balance on this one, right? Obviously the last one was extremely defensive and playing real slow. This one is just about you know, just trying to play the game really. Two strikers is very important, in my opinion anyway. Just for playing this game, you know, you got the 1-2s with the through balls, and it's a really good way to score goals on this game. Is just a 1-2 through ball and you're in kind of thing. Once again, width on this one is completely up to you. The reason this one's above 5 is because the right mid and left mid are very important in this formation, more so than the cams are in the 4-2-3-1, the wide cams, because they're the ones you want to get involved all the time, right? Because the fullbacks are really good at the through balls down to the wide players, so that is why we've got that a bit higher. Players in the box, once again, up to you. I'm actually going to up that one. I do like having a few cutback options, you know, not just the one. If you have just one or two, then it's kind of harder to find that area to pass it. I think, you know, with a 3, it gives you multiple options. You know, the guy will be standing on the edge of the box for you, and you can go to them into the reverse, into the box, and great opportunities for that as well for this formation. Now moving into the instructions. Stay central. Now I think this is actually very important. I've used a lot of different things on my strikers on this game, and the thing I've found is stay central just works. I've started using it for, you know, like 2-3 months now, and I don't need anything else on my strikers. I found, you know, sometimes getting behind is nice to have on one of your strikers. You don't have to do that though. But yeah, stay central works really well. You don't need to stay forward. You know, you want them a little bit deeper in certain instances for counter attacks. So that's why we just had them on stay central. For the wide players, it's just the same on both. Just come back on defense, you know, just help that fullback out a little bit, you know, and if we get countered, we have that ability to have help there. And then they're quite close together, the fullback and the wide player, to where they can do a lot of 1-2s to work out of a tight position. So that is why we have them on come back. And then for the fullbacks, we'll cover them next, and we'll go into CDMs. Just stay back, very normal thing to do in a 4-4-2. Arguably, some people would say are balanced, but the next few tactics we're going to cover, they are going to be unbalanced, and I'll tell you why. But for this one, stay back. If you want them to push up, you've always got the opportunity to with a player lock or just L1 running them. Very, 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 very important to have these on stay back in this formation, okay? Now, moving on to the CDMs, we've got something a little bit different going on here. Now, because Bruno is obviously the better CDM at attacking, I want him on balance, right? So he can get involved a bit more. You know, his passing is so good that I think it would be silly to not have him have the ability to push up sometimes and you know, play the through balls and, you know, just get involved in the play. His finesse shots are absolutely unbelievable on the edge of the box as well. He can get you out of a lot of tight positions, and your secondary CDM is very important in every formation, okay? If you've got CDMs, your secondary CDM is the one that's going to help you so much. Bring the ball forward, the ball carrier essentially. So that's why we've got him on balance. Cut passing lanes, you know, so he still offers something defensively. That's my thought process behind that. I've used that a lot this year, and cut passing lanes, and I actually do really like it. And then obviously cover centre, we've covered that so many times. It's very important to have that on. Now Renato, stay back, cover centre. He's a CDM. He's the one who's going to be mopping everything up, and then spraying the ball to the wide players. You know, he is very important to the team. Probably the most important player in the team, in my opinion. He's so quick, so agile. I mean, he gets around the pitch very quickly, and he's just very good in that position at just mopping up. So I just want him to stay back, just to clear up everything essentially, right? And he's brilliant at that job. If you didn't do that SBC, you're a bit of a wrong one. Absolutely brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. Now we've dealt with them formations, we're now going to get into my favourites, okay? For the most part, I dominate quite a lot of games. I'm quite confident in my ability to dominate games. I would say I have probably like 5 difficult-ish matches a weekend, 3 like really tough ones. And that is why we like playing these tactics, okay? This is what you'll see me play on stream a lot. This is what everybody asks for. So this is the one where I start out in quite a lot, okay? In the early game specifically. You know, press off the possession loss, Very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. My favourite tactic on the game, though, I've just found that it works really well. You know, it's very in their face. People struggle to get out of this, basically. They can't deal with it. So that's why we have that on. In terms of the depth, we've got that really high. I trust my centre-backs. They're very fast. They're very agile. They can turn quite quickly. So we like to have the depth high. Width is completely up to you. I could drop this down maybe a little bit because it's a narrow formation. Obviously, the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. But this is completely up to you on this instance for the width on the defensive side. But yeah, we just like to have it balanced, really. Long ball for the attacking side. Now, I do like long ball, but this is not the main formation I would switch into if I was dominating a game, okay? Long ball is more... This is a bit safer, okay? I still do really like this version of the formation, but the one you're going to see next is the number one, okay? But long ball is still very good. You know, you get the through balls on a lot, as I've already said, and that's why we like to use that. Width is on 1. Now, this is very important for the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, and this goes amiss quite a lot, okay? There's no point having it wide because you're narrow anyway, right? So if you can compact the middle as much as you can, I find that to be very, very important in this formation. And it just allows you to do quite a lot of tiki-taka when you're building up. And that's why I have that on. I think that's very important to this formation, okay? Now, in terms of players in the box, we have this a bit higher because this is a bit more aggressive. So we like to have that a bit higher up. Not too much really to talk about on that front. Corners, free kicks, as I've already told you, don't have it above 3. And you'll be fine there. Now, moving into the instructions. I'm going to cover this quite briefly because the next formation we show you, the ultra attacking, is the number 1 formation I use. So we've got stay central. As I've already said, stay central is quite important. Now, because this is quite a fast build-up formation, we want Neymar on getting behind your kind of faster, more nimble striker. Have him on getting behind. Both of them will stay forward as well. Cam stay forward. If you don't have your Cam on stay forward on any formation, they drift into quite weird positions, and they just get removed from the game, really. So it's very important to have your Cam on stay forward. For the centre mids, now this is quite a weird one. One of them, you're kind of more balanced, but not your CDM kind of guy, just on cover centre, so he can get up and down the pitch quite a lot. Obviously, Bruno's that for us here. And then you're more attacking. Well, this is what I find anyway, because I play a lot of formations where I have 4 attackers, so you have to sacrifice somebody into midfield, right? Let's say, for example, instead of having Henry, you had Mbappe. That is where I play Mbappe down at centre mid, just because he's really quick, relatively physical as well. That's why we'd have him down there. And he is on get forward and cover centre. So he is essentially acting as a centre mid, but he can just bomb forward, okay? That's very important if you are playing with 4 attackers, to have him set up here on this side as well. It just works so much better, I felt, than having him at left centre mid. Just my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree with that. That's what I found works really well. Now for the CDM, stay back and cover wing. This is very important because you don't have any width to kind of help you. So your CDM in this formation is the most important player in any formation on the game, because he has to get across a lot and he has to get back into the middle. Renato's perfect for that. You know, he's got like 99 pace with a shadow. So make sure you have him on cover wing and stay back, so he can just get around the pitch a lot, basically, in that kind of area. That's what we need him there to do, is mop up everything. He's got a lot more work to do, obviously, because he's in a 1 here. And he's our only real defensive solidity in midfield, okay? Now, for the fullbacks, they're both on balanced. Very important. They don't bomb too hard in this attacking version of it. But they do still get involved quite a lot, but not as much as I'm going to show you in the next formation, which you're going to get into now. Now, guys, we're going to get into my favourite formation on the game. Not just the formation. It's not about the formation, really. It's about the tactics. And we've got press after possession or still, so you don't get absolutely drained on stamina. But yeah, it's just a bit more aggressive than the attacking version, right? The biggest change you can see is, you know, we've got fast build up on here. And this makes the entire team push. The only players you'll have back using this are your 2 centre-backs, and it is crazy, crazy, crazy. A lot of players get scared when they come up against this because they just don't know how to deal with it. So many bodies going forward, they panic. Obviously, you are susceptible quite a lot to counter-attacks. That's why you have to be really, really confident in your ability to play this formation. You will get hit on the break loads. Obviously, number one thing to have in that situation is to have really fast centre-backs. I do in Ake and Kleber. And they do cover me quite a lot, to be fair. I used this ages ago as well, just to let you guys know. I've been using this for a while. And it actually got me my my first top 200 in the game. Playing this kind of style of FIFA, you know, I was playing it all the time, basically. And it just got me a 30-0 really easily. So many rage quits. I don't really want to talk about like the depth and the width and everything, because we've already covered that so much. But I just want to show you the tactics because they are so good. But you have to be really, really brave playing this, okay? Into the instructions as well. It's very similar, but we've got stay central and get in behind. But notice we don't have stay forward here. Because they're on getting behind, we don't need the stay forward. They're going to stay up the pitch anyway, to where we don't need it anymore. But just make sure you do follow this guide for this formation, because I think that this is the formation that I love the most, I have the most experience with. So I trust this one a lot. But as I've said, you do have to be really brave. Now, stay forward on the cam again. We have actually got, on this one, we've got get forward cover centre on Bruno, and then we have get forward cover centre on Henri as well. So we're really going for it in this formation, okay? And believe it or not, this is the one I use the most. If you come into my stream, you'll see me using this today in Champs. It's very, 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 very aggressive. I can't stress that enough. So you have to be quite ballsy if you do want to play it, okay? Stay back, cover wing on Renato, as I've already covered. Now, obviously, with the fast build-up, you don't need to have your fullbacks on joining attack, because they're gonna be playing as right forward, left forward for most of the game when you have possession of the ball, basically. They really do push, like really, really do push. And it's just an overload, really, to the point where just nobody knows how to defend it. And that's why I love it so much, is because people panic so much. You know, you've got the press after possession loss as well. So if you do lose the ball and you are getting counter-attacked, your players are going to press really hard anyway. And it offers you, you know, a kind of get out of jail free card if you can win the ball back before they counter on you, because then you've got so many players up. You know, his team's trying to push out, and it's just an easy free goal, basically. I can't explain to you guys how much I love this formation. You just have to come into my stream and watch me play with it if you guys are interested in that. Hopefully we'll be able to get a top 200 this week. That is the goal, all using this formation. And just make sure you are very confident in your ability if you are going to play this. Obviously, this is the part of the video where this is something for players who are confident. I feel like they get BS'd out of some games sometimes. This will get rid of that. That's what I found anyway. You know, a game you're dominating, absolutely dominating the ball, and he's just trying to hit you on the break. You're going to get hit on the break. You're going to get hit on the break, right? So just having this as the formation when you're dominating, it just kills people. It just does. I don't really have too much more to say about it, guys. You know, you can see the tactics again there. Very high depth, one width again, as I explained in the attacking. It's very important to have that, as you want to just compact the midfield and just really let your fullbacks deal with the width. And that's what they do, even on one width. So guys, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. We've got more videos coming out soon. Hopefully with top 200 finishes, we're going to post our rewards. Maybe some champs highlights as well if we do get top 200 finishes. But yeah, I'll see you later, guys. All right, peace out.